So hello everyone, we got the lovely Sadia Barlow here with us today from Sadia Barlow Photography.
Hello. Hello.
Really delighted to have you here today. We're going to talk about personal branding photography in the context of actually promoting your business and your personal brand. What is personal branding? Can you just explain for the viewers what it is?
So personal branding is the unique set of skills and experience and personality that you bring to the table, and use this to kind of promote who you are, what you stand for, your story, and you use it in front of your business to help promote yourself and your business on the back of that. So, you know, it's about people getting to know you and using that to sort of build your tribe around you, and then hopefully attract your ideal clients. So you're using your personality and your unique set of skills, experience, etc., etc.
Experience and personality, of course. So I can see how that's going to resonate, first of all, isn't it? It's going to resonate with certain people more than others. So that's a good thing. Also, they're going to start to know, like, and trust me a little bit on that. So I'm not hiding behind my logo. I'm actually a real person, showing who I am, being transparent, saying, okay, this is me. So what would you say is the difference then between personal branding photography, for example, and non-personal branding photography?
So the main difference, I would say, is that personal branding photography is focused on your personality.
Okay.
And there's, I think, a huge misconception out there. I've seen a lot of personal branding photographs that actually place a person in a great setting and clothes and all of that. That's not personal branding.
Yeah.
Personal branding is about bringing out your personality, your unique, authentic self, and showcasing that within the photograph. And so it is quite difficult and different, because you need to be comfortable. You need to be comfortable with yourself in front of a camera as well. So there's lots of elements to it, but essentially that's the main difference.
That's the main difference. That's interesting. Because I have seen pictures as well where, people go inside a studio, family, and they take all these pictures. And although they can be very nice pictures, they look a little bit static, don't they? It's like they look very, how can you put it, manicured almost. And you think, okay, it's a nice picture. You can see it's a nice picture, but it hasn't necessarily got a lot of warmth to it, a lot of, energy for some reason.
And you don't really see the family, sort of interacting as they would normally, I've got some.
Yeah, nobody does that. Nobody goes to a family party and then they all line up like they do on the family picture. Like, this is my family, Yeah.
Exactly. So the more contrived it is, the less personal branding it is.
Okay.
So that's
So it's about really being more relaxed, more natural than in setting.
Yourself, that's at the heart of personal branding.
Okay. So, well, having said that, why do you think business owners should consider personal branding?
Personal branding is very powerful. It can help you to build trust with people out there. So the more they see you, they kind of feel that they get to know you.
Yeah.
It sets you apart from your competition.
So
there's only one you, and you bring your unique self to the table that nobody else can duplicate.
Limited edition.
Absolutely, very limited. Gives you a higher perceived value, and it, again, builds the know, like, and trust factor with the people out there. So
interesting. I mean, we see a lot of very powerful brands obviously using personal branding very well. I mean, one that springs to mind, obviously, we got Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. I mean, he's always the face of the company, and he's out there, and he's got his personal story as well, which he tells, and he's a very humble guy, really. When you see him and you think, wow, he's got this huge empire behind him, And then obviously you've got people like Tony Robinson, who's been probably at the forefront, I would say, of personal branding for a long, long time. He understood that well. So yeah, it's clear that it is. So it's we're going away from just having the logo then, and it's more about themselves out there. Right?
Yes, I actually think there's quite a shift. I mean, obviously we're in lockdown times and anything can change, but before we were definitely shifting towards having a more personalized approach.
More personalized, yeah.
Actually going to smaller independent companies rather than the big corporations, you know, so there was definitely a shift happening.
Yeah.
And I think it's people like Tony Robbins actually, because he's told his story, he's been very honest about it.
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, it's not an easy story to tell, but you know, people like that. They resonate. It resonates with them, and they want to know more, and they feel they've built that trust factor with him.
You got a bit of bonding going on, isn't it, as well? When you share something about yourself, then you kind of bond over that, and you know, you get a bit of empathy for the person. You say, okay, well, he's not, you know, somebody's just blowing his own horn and just, you know, sort of me. He's also, you got a more vulnerable side, and you know, obviously sharing that as well. So it's not all about always sharing our very best, right? So it's not like this is the perfect representation of me. You have to also show your flaws.
Absolutely, and making mistakes is very much a human experience at all levels, at all times. You know, we always make mistakes, yeah. And so, actually, just being honest about it, it's very compelling, and it really does help to endear you to the people out there when you're able to say, well, you know, hold on, I made a mistake, and you know, and I'm going to learn from this, or you know, whatever. But no, it is hugely compelling stuff.
Is there staging involved with personal branding, or?
If I was to show up at, say, your house, and you're there in your trackies, unshaved, or whatever it is, you know, it wouldn't be fair, because you know. But what we'd want to see is
the first minute you wake up or something.
Yeah. So you know, we plan it really well. So we have a questionnaire that all our clients complete, and then look at the areas that you wish to share and you're happy and confident and comfortable with sharing. And then we talk about, you know, how can we sort of show you as you normally are in that situation, but maybe with a few tweaks. So there is a little bit of staging, obviously. You know, it's not so fly on the wall, or, you know, because we have to also kind of bring the best out of the shoot and the best out of you. So there is a minimal amount of staging, and obviously checking for details and composition, etc., etc. So yeah, that's as far as we go. We like to keep it as authentic as possible, and again, on personality, it's more about, you know, getting to see. For example, in your case, we wanted to see you smiling with those dimples, you know.
Thank you. Well, I remember obviously when we did my shoot, and I'm going to show some pictures on the screen for the viewers. Is I think one of the things is it's dynamic, isn't it? So it's not a static, okay, you know, smile and this is the picture. No, it's about having conversation. So when we did the shoot, a lot of the things we were doing, we're actually talking about the business. So we're doing some consultative work, working a little bit on your business, also talking about other things outside of business, talk about the family, talk about things, you know, and sort of capturing those moments and you know, trying to writing things down in a notebook, and just little actions of little instances of the day-to-day, you know, a little bit out of my day-to-day life, if you like. And I felt very natural, very relaxed doing that, whilst, well, my wife will tell you, I'm always like a bit squeamish if somebody wants to take too many pictures. And yet you guys took a ton of pictures on that day, and it felt completely natural, and you know, it was really easy going.
That is something I have to say, and I don't know how, and I wouldn't want to analyze it really, but that is the feedback we often get, is that people feel okay. I mean, initially you've got two lenses sort of staring at you. It is daunting, but very quickly we find that people just relax with us.
I tell you what the secret is, what I think the secret is of your success in personal brand photography, is that you make the person who comes to you feel really, really non-judged, completely welcome and at ease. And that's very difficult to achieve. So you're not being judged when the picture is taken. I can see you're actively searching for the right shot. There's no judgment. It's a very impartial and at the same time professionally looking for that shot. So it's very, if you like, a cinematographic approach. And that, I think, is the key why you're able to capture the essence, but also make the person who's getting the pictures done feel really at ease, because there's no pressure. I felt absolutely no pressure. On the contrary, I felt like you were able to bring out my personal best. So I was more at ease than I am sometimes in other situations, you know. I think that's very positive. And that is something, I'm not sure if you can learn something like that. It's just has to do in part with, you know, your personality, your Ian's personality, obviously. Yeah, you know, just like we always known each other, and, you know, this complete transparency is very, very refreshing.
Thank you. I mean, we love people, so that's a really good starting point.
Yes.
And we love to talk. Ian probably more so than me, but we do love to talk, and actually that's what sort of sets the scene straight away.
Yeah.
We start chatting, and then you sort of kind of reveal yourself to us, and, you know, we kind of...
Makes it very engaging. The time flew. I mean,
really
we did what, nearly 4 hours, and it just flew by in an instant, really. Because there was so much focus as well on getting everything in. So packing all that value, and that you know, you're not even thinking 4 hours. I mean, it went by in an instant. It was like, okay, now let's do this, let's do that. So it was a really great experience. I mean, I've had other pictures done in the past because I used to be a budding actor back in the day. So I've had, you know, what they call the photo book done, you know, for the agencies and all that. And this was really, really something new, you know, for me in terms of the way you guys do it, and also the quality. Blimey, the quality is really, really high.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Giorgio.
So let's, well, obviously I've kind of already said it, but in your words, how would you say your photography stands out?
See, that's such a difficult question. I don't know what makes it stand out. All I know is that the feedback we get is that people often say to us, and it's a sentence we've heard many, many times, and that is, you know, I've never seen a photo of myself like that before.
Wow.
You know?
Well, that's really good.
That is really good.
Really good.
It actually warms my heart. And,
yeah.
You know, I just want to tell you about this little experience I had the other night. Somebody contacted me via Instagram about a photo that I'd taken 12 years ago.
Wow.
At the time, this young guy was young, and it was his uncle who's since passed away.
Oh.
And he actually said to me, "Did you take this photo?" I've been trying to, "Did you take this photo?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "You can't stop looking at it. It is the best photo I have ever seen, and ever." You know, and he sort of made it ever very big, written very big, and
very superlative.
And you know what? And it's a strange photo. You know, it was a very close-up shot of his uncle. You know, very young guy who passed away, unfortunately, very early. And that feedback is what spurs us on, because, you know, we love what we do, and we see the person, we see the personality, and we can get, you know, very close up to people who are essentially strangers.
Yes.
So.
I get that feeling that you really get me, you know, like you really, really get me. And then obviously not just that, but also the fact that you say, okay, well, you get me. So you definitely captured who I am, but then done it at a level where I'm like, wow, that's the person I want to be, you know? That's not the person I see myself as, but that's definitely the person I want to be, you know?
But interesting, you would say that you are that person, that you just don't see.
Yeah, but that filtering in your own mind, you don't always, you know, we have negative filters there. So again, hence the importance of having somebody that is non-judgmental doing those pictures. Somebody with that, you know, love coming out towards you and really looking for that shot. That makes a huge difference, obviously. So how have you coped with this whole lockdown situation, which has obviously affected us all in different ways? So.
Well, obviously the work dried up instantly, and, you know, rather than sit down and mope about it, we just decided to we go for a walk every morning for our daily exercise.
Yeah.
Normally have our sort of phones with us and we take photos, but we've started taking our cameras out more and more just to kind of keep in that creative mode.
Yeah.
And so we've been taking photos of foliage and flora as opposed to people, which is quite unusual and quite a different sort of skill set actually. And just, just kind of focus on the business in the sense that, we will be doing things and we're planning things ahead, and we're kind of looking at what we can do when we come out of this. So yeah, it has been difficult, but I'm not one to complain. I'm quite a positive person, so I look forward.
Making most of it, eh? Yeah. Making good use of the time. So we have something very special for the viewers, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Just wanted to ask you, what's your relaunch strategy after lockdown ends? And I mean, a lot of people asking themselves that because they're thinking, well, okay, I'm surviving or hanging in there. What happens when things go back to business as usual?
So I very much feel that it won't be business as usual.
Okay.
I think there's been quite a shift,
yeah,
and a change. So at the moment, we don't really know what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to the strategy is to see
Yes.
what's going on when we come out the other side and respond to it as best as we can. Identify any gaps, anything we could be doing better, anything we need to change. And yeah, just going for it really.
Something very special you're offering to our viewers here today. Only during the lockdown period, I understand you have this personal branding discovery process, which is unique to Sadia Barlow Photography.
There is only usually available to our clients, but what we're saying is if you're actually a small business owner or a medium-sized business owner and you're curious about your personal branding and what that could look like, then we're offering our questionnaire for you to complete and to be followed up with a phone call for you to actually kind of get more detail about what that might look like. And then it's up to you. You go off, you do it, you can take selfies. I mean, there's lots of things you can do in lockdown.
You can start with DIY if you want, and then...
Exactly. Yeah. So absolutely no strings attached. And it's going really well at the moment.
Excellent. Well, obviously those details are on the screen for the viewers to see. If somebody wants to reach out and, both for the questionnaire, but also if they want to reach out and get in touch with you, what is the best way to do this?
Well, there's several ways. You can either add us on Instagram.
Okay.
On Facebook, send us a message there. Instagram, send us a message. I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
Or just go to our website, www.sadiabarlowphotography.co.uk, and send us a message from there. So
excellent. And the Facebook and Instagram is the same handle?
Sadia Barlow Photography.
Sadia Barlow Photography. Excellent. Well, Sadia, thank you so much for enlightening us about personal branding photography. Very excited to have had you here today, and obviously look forward to work with you again in the future. You're my go-to resource for personal branding photography. Yeah. Have a lovely rest of the week, and it's a pleasure having you today. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Giorgio, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye-bye.